Hello, everybody. This is Boxing Bros UK. This video, and that's my co-host Andrew, the Boxing Brain.
Hello, hello.
Over on your right. Today's video is final thoughts and final predictions on Babic, the Savage, and Jonny BOSH Fisher.
Yeah, gosh. Oh, what's all that about? And that's probably a good place to start, actually, because he is at the Romford Ball and all the rest of it, and he has got this big following early in his career. You know, I think he's a classic case of, I don't want to say hype job yet, because let's see, obviously, where he goes. If he can get through tonight, you can get through a decently experienced amateur, a decent fight. You know, Babic has got a couple of good names on his record, Molina, Tom Little, people like that. So if you can get past young, powerful, you know, we were just discussing off there, you know, he's technically raw, you know, straight and isn't very good. You know, he's still got a lot to learn. But the whole hype around it, he's a ticket seller. And it's his whole thing with him and his dad, Chris, isn't it? Like his dad's Big John, the Chinese, all this like eating Chinese all the time.
Chinese, or after he shags his birds, he goes BOSH. Like I get what they're doing. They're trying to make it like, you know, like all boxers have a little catchphrase, don't they? Like a Coley had the sauce, and AJ's was like stay humble, and Fury was like you big dosser or whatever. Like they all have a little catchphrase. I know what he's trying to do, and like it's okay. It's a bit corny, I think, a bit cheesy, but if they like it, he likes it, you know, and his people love it. So
working, isn't it?
Fair play.
It's working.
But yeah, it's working. He sells a lot of tickets, but so yeah, give me your thoughts anyway. How do you think the fight's gonna go?
Yeah, I mean, I've flip flopped again. Initially, I was going with the experience of Babic, and I was watching a few interviews. I was watching the press conference, and Babic was. I don't know if you saw it, Chris, and if anyone wants to chuck it, I'm sure this video could potentially get a lot of comments because I think it's quite an interesting matchup. And he looks a bit. He looks a bit like me, Babic. Mike and he looks a little bit of a washed fight already. I don't know because of his style. He takes on a bit like Chisora. You know, he just. I'd imagine.
But he's not a proper heavyweight, is he? He's really small as well. That doesn't help.
Yeah, and you can sort of tell with him, and obviously I haven't seen him in sparring, but he seems to me to be the guy that's just 100% just goes for it all the time. And I don't know. I wonder whether already at 33, whether he's got much left in the tank. That's my kind of thing. So I've actually shifted to get to my point. I've actually shifted towards Fisher, who I know is raw. I know his technique hasn't fought anybody, but I just think the younger man, fast, a bit more explosive, powerful, the much bigger man. I'm leaning towards Fisher, but I think I don't know. Are a lot of people going with Babic on this one, Chris? What's the feeling?
Nobody out there, what I'm seeing, no one's giving Babic a prayer in hell. Because obviously, how we got knocked out at Bridgerweight by that
Zansky.
Polish guy. Yeah. Like, no one's giving him a prayer in hell. Like, none of the other channels. So it's just one of them. How do you think it's going to go? Stoppage?
Yeah, because and a little quick one on that. I think it's Rosansky. I think that was his name. I saw him against Okoli, and oh my God, he was absolutely awful against Okoli. So it does make you wonder. But then he has got a couple of good names on his record. He stopped Molina in 2 rounds, I think. And I know Molina hasn't been good for many a year. But I think, in answer to your question, I mean, we know what Babic is going to do, Chris, don't we? Right from the first bell, we know.
That's the problem.
We know he's doing. And I love him for that. As a kind of fan, like he is massively entertaining, and he is just going to just fight fire with fire. I think he could get clipped. I've got a feeling maybe round 4 or 5, he might get caught with something big, and it could be game on.
I'm thinking the same. So, I think his punch resistance has gone. Like you say, even Dylan White. That's why Dylan White fell in love with Babic, because I can't remember what fight he was training for. I think it was for the Oscar Rivas fight. Anyway, when Dylan White was
Like,
like in his kind of prime, and Babic was a sparring partner for him, and he gave him that work, like really really good work, and he was like, "Fucking hell, I love you, man. You spar hard." So he took him on as a fighter, and and then Dylan White even said, like, he doesn't do weights, he doesn't do cardio. All he does is spar, 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 hit the bag. That's all he does. And obviously, your hands, too much sparring, not fitness, not working on. And he doesn't spar like learning things. He spars like 100% all the time. And
yeah,
so it's not good. And obviously, we've seen before the Polish fight where he was struggling in his couple fights before that, where he was getting hurt and he was having to box a little bit. So I think punch resistance is a bit low, and
mm,
he's limited, like you say. He's only got one style. It's not like he's going to start being a new sick and like and get this magic jab out and this great head movement and all this brilliant footwork. He is going to run up to Jonny Fisher. He's gonna
and
try and lay hands on him.
around the ring.
Yeah, he has got all right head movement when he wants to. He can throw them jabs to the body. I think it'll be a bit tougher than everybody says, but it depends. So
Yeah,
as I watched Jonny Fisher's Beasley fight, and I thought, yeah, he got the guy out of there in 2 rounds or whatever, but he's really bad technically. Like
yeah,
he couldn't, like, he didn't throw a right hand. So, like, when he throws his backhand, he kind of like, he either it turns into an overhand right or it turns into like a right hook, but not quite a right hook. It's like he struggles throwing the right hand down the pipe. And because he's so big and strong and he just started hitting that guy all over the show, got him out there, I thought, why didn't he throw a straight right hand? It'd be much easier. Like, why is he looping
yeah,
around to the guard when he can go punch through the guard if he's pinged him with a jab? So I thought,
yeah.
let me watch another fight. So I watched the fight before, the Henry Armstrong fight.
Mm.
All fight, he was doing the same thing. Like, he was going for the jab, and then he did throw a few straight right hands, but even them, they weren't really perfect. And his jab, like, his accuracy is off. But one thing I will say about him, he's got a jab like a ramrod, like Kronk style
Yeah,
jab. Like, he puts all
yeah,
his weight behind it, steps into it. So that's one
yeah,
good thing he's got. But it's just
yeah,
not very accurate. And he kept throwing like lead overhand rights. And he kept throwing like left hooks, but not, when you throw like a lead left hook, you've got to have your elbow up. Like, he was just
yeah.
like slapping with it, like trying to just catch it. I don't know. It's just really technically bad. So what I
It's the
think that we should see,
Yeah, so Roy
yeah,
reminds me not stylistically, but I remember I always remember Wilder early in his career, like against Audley Harrison, he just swinging like mad, and you just tell yeah, I mean
windmills,
yeah, just
yeah,
obviously
but
got that power, got that kind of fast twitch muscle fibre, and he's got an explosiveness, Jonny Fisher. But
yeah,
the thing is, and obviously we'll know more tonight, but if you compare him to someone sort of on a kind of similar level in terms of their professional careers and their trajectory to like Moses Atoma, you can already see Moses Atoma's got those fundamentals. He's got fast hands,
like,
he's got all the
like
shots.
remember we was talking, Jonny Fisher and Moses Atoma, yeah,
Yeah,
that they should fight.
yeah,
They will never fight because Moses Atoma, he will fucking do Jonny Fisher. He will knock his spark out
yeah.
at his ability now.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
His ability now, like, because when he was fighting at Armstrong, he would get into that Armstrong. If he was a bit smarter, he could have timed him because he kept throwing a lead right, overhand right, and the Armstrong kept blocking him. And if he was a bit smarter, he could have blocked it and hit him with a fucking uppercut.
Yeah,
Because he kept doing it. Like, they were standing there, and he'd like move his head a little bit, and then go ooh, like just throw, like not even setting up with a jab. Maybe he thought he could. I put that down to a bit of an experience. Like, I'll knock him out soon. He'll go soon. Like, it's like he couldn't be bothered to put the work in. But what I want to see from Jonny Fisher.
Where do we see and this is probably like a good little conversation for us to have, because if you look at, right, he's got this fight, particularly obviously in the UK, you know, he the Romford ball and the BOSH thing, and with his dad, right, he's got this kind of bit of backing behind him. But even at kind of like British level, right, you look at Wardley and Fraser Clark. I mean, I don't think he's anywhere near those two.
Those, like Eddie Hearn was talking about that today.
That's just British level.
Eddie Hearn said that today. Like, he said after this fight, he thinks he's ready for the Fraser Clark and Wardleys. Definitely not. Definitely not. Not if you can't throw a straight right hand and you can't throw a lead left hook without lifting up your elbow. But what I was going to say is, what I want to see in this fight is, I want to see improvements in his technical ability. So I think this is what Tibbs alluded to in his post-fight interview. He said, we're going to box him, we're going to box him. Yeah, and then we're going to take him out in the middle rounds. So I hope that he shows some skills. He doesn't go in there like jab, BOSH, overhand right, BOSH, right hook. Like he boxes him, he pushes him off, he double jabs, combinations, setting traps. He uses some skills that he's been learning to show improvements. If he just goes in there and obviously, if babic is on him and he has to have a little swing out, but get back to your game plan, get back to your jab. I don't want to see what he did in that Henry Armstrong fight, because if he does that and he just like tries to bulldoze by the babic and he don't use any of his advantages or show any improvements from that Henry Armstrong fight, that he can use his jab, that he can throw a straight right hand down the pipe. Like, he doesn't always go overhand right. Yeah. Like, even the commentators in that fight were like, I don't know why he keeps throwing an overhand right when a straight right hand down the pipe is much quicker and more efficient. Like, because Henry Armstrong's just putting his hand up. And even when he did throw overhand right, like, he bends his leg and he like telegraphs it a bit. He loads up. He loads up too much, and you can see it coming. Like, because he's a big unit. Like, I want to see. Fuck out! Don't blow Babic out of there, because obviously you're bigger, you're stronger. You're going to be able to knock him out. Show what you've learned. Show some skills. Show some boxing. Because that's what boxers do in these kind of fights. Right? I just wanted to show what I learned in the gym, and we was trying things out. Try things out in this fight. Let's see your skills. Let's see some improvements. If he goes in there, BOSH, then this guy's a no-hoper. I think if he fights David Adelaide next, he'll get knocked out.
It's a good opportunity, isn't it, as you say, just to riff off what you're saying, to obviously Babic is a smaller guy, he's about 6'1", he's going to be giving up about probably 1.5 stone, 2 stone in weight, and he's got a good jab, John Fisher. We said he's got a really good ramrod, steps into it. He's got a powerful. I wouldn't say it was kind of
style jab. He's got like a crunch style jab.
I wouldn't say it was Dr. Steel Hammer Klitschko style ramrod jab. I'm not just putting him in an caliber. Who had a great jab, didn't he? The great man, Vladimir. He had a wonderful jab. But just as Babic is coming in, because he's going to want to get on Fisher's chest, he's going to want to get on his chest and start throwing those hooks. And he just, as soon as he comes in, bang, jab straight down the middle, bang, just let him know. Say, right, you want to do that? I'm going to let you know. And then if he does get inside, lean him. I know it's boring. I know we don't like always seeing it, but tie him up a little bit. Show a little bit of ring IQ. Take his legs away from him. Then as you kind of push him away, bang, jab him again as he comes back. And in theory, you should destroy him. In theory, but
but I want to see. That's what I want to. I don't want to see him blow Babic out in 3 rounds. I want to see him show improvements and show what he's learned. Because 5, 6 rounds. Yeah, because after watching his last 2, because every time I've watched him, I've been waiting for the main event. I'm just like, oh yeah, he's all right. He's knocked him out. But I actually analysed him today, and he's very, very poor. He's got a good jab. He's very big. He's very strong. But technically, he's very, very poor. Struggles throwing a straight right hand. His hooks, he doesn't lift his elbow up sometimes. He throws lazy hooks. And if you're with anyone half decent, like Dylan White, for example, his favourite thing is he throws a lead left hook like that. His best punches parry it down and counter with his own left hook. He knocked down Joseph Parker with that. He was excellent at doing that. So when he gets against someone with some skills, he's gonna have problems if he doesn't like tighten up these little things, you know.
Good analysis there, Chris. And hopefully this is what this channel's all about, where we don't just we like to have a bit of banter and give our opinions, but we also like to think we know what we're talking about a bit and actually study the fighters, which we try to do. But I think I want to see. I love both guys because I think they both, they both bring a lot to boxing. They both have a right go. You can tell Fisher he doesn't mind getting stuck in. Although we'll see, won't we? Because it's always the test if he gets in there with someone who has got a bit of ring IQ, that has got a bit of experience similar to Babish, but can punch as well. Then we want to see, how's his chin? We don't know. We don't know what Fisher's chin.
He did take a few shots flush back from that Henry Armstrong, but his arms are like twiglets, mate. He looked like that guy. He's an excellent boxer. Yeah, he was an excellent boxer, like Henry Armstrong. But he had a physique like Raspberry Nesbitt. It was like fucking bad. You remember the whole Scottish show, Raspberry Nesbitt? But So, and the only way I can see Babic winning is landing a lucky punch. Like if they get into a tear up on the inside, then he throws an overhand right, or if he, that old trap where jab to the body, fake to the body, overhand right. And catches free. Yeah. He might get lucky with that kind of combination, Babic. Yeah. He might get lucky with that and catch him. And if he gets it bang on the chin, and then like maybe knock him out or get like a technical. But that's the only way I can see him winning.
Because I'm trying to sort of think for like tools for victory to Babic, and certainly I'm no boxing trainer, but I kind of think I'm trying to look at ways in which he's going to win this. And I kind of think because he does only really have a plan A. He's not a kind of stick and move. He's not going to get behind his jab and try and box from distance because he certainly in this fight, he won't have the size advantage, the reach advantage. He's got none of those. It's not his style and in his personality nature to run away and to maybe try and take Fisher into the later rounds and tire him out, get Fisher moving around the ring more. I don't see him doing that. So I guess the more I'm talking to you about it, the more I don't really see how Babic wins, unless, like you say, because he does throw punches in volumes, in high volume.
Yeah, and he is all right at throwing them jabs to the body as well.
Like you said, going to the body, and then maybe try and get lucky when Fisher's guard comes down and trying to catch one over the top, right, nice and flush on the chin. Yeah, and then maybe
proper maybe bolo overhand right.
Stiffen his legs maybe, and then jump on him. That's the only way. I think maybe if he can stiffen him,
and it's got to be a lucky punch as well. Like he's got to. Well, this is why I want, because obviously Fisher's 25. He's coming through as the next like hot British prospect, and he isn't very good. But I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's 25. And let's see. And that's what I mean. So. Let's see if he gets better, because I don't want to see no blowout tonight. I want to see your boxing skills and what have you been learning in the gym that you're going to show us that you can jab, you can throw a straight right hand, you can break someone down, you can box, you can play with someone and take them out when you want. You don't just like kind of steamroll them. But do you think if he's reckless tonight, Chris? Do you think if he's reckless, Fisher, then the kind of the writing's on the wall, and it's like, okay, it's a matter of time before. Because definitely, if he just goes in and steamrolls Babic, like he did with that, tried to do with that Armstrong, and it didn't work, but it will work with Babic because he's small, his punch resistance down, or what we mentioned, and he just steamrolls him with bad technical skills and just like bulldozes him. Yeah, because he's going to have to take another step up fight against someone good, unless they're at Babic's level or someone on the slack. I'll tell you who he'll fight next. If he looks bad in this fight, he'll fight Dave Allen. Because Dave Allen, he'll come out of retirement and fight anyone for a paycheck. He's already said. I watched his boxing channel.
That was gonna be my next question. Sort of as we sort of round the video up, I was going to ask where would we think he would go next? Yeah, maybe like someone like a Dave Allen.
If it looks bad in this fight, well, not bad to us as like proper boxing people. It'll look good to the casuals. But if he looks bad in this fight, technically still, he'll fight Dave Allen next. If he looks good, he'll fight someone like David Adelaide. That'll be a good fight for him.
David Adelaide, but I think I think David Adelaide would be a problem for him.
Yeah, but he's got to be at that level, like just below British level. He's got to prove it. So
yes,
if he looks good and he shows us some skills and things that he's learned, then I think he should go for David Adelaide or someone of that level, just below British level, to step up. You know. So, but if he looks terrible, fight Dave Allen, because Dave Allen's always out of shape. He'll just come in and like and just like a journeyman now, isn't he? But so let's conclude. Yeah. Oh, was you going to say something?
No, only lastly, I was going to say no, just off the back of what you were saying, that really tonight is a very, very interesting bit of matchmaking, because even if he wins but he looks terrible doing it, I think a lot of people are going to be thinking his team has to have a few more kind of learning fights. But if he can actually utilise some stuff he's been working on in camp, which I'm sure he has, and actually show that, I think is going to propel his career a little bit. So I think tonight's real, I wouldn't say a crossroads, but it's going to tell us a lot more about where he's at in it.
Yeah, and about his future, if he's going to get any better, because he is only 25. Let's conclude, guys. I'd say Fisher. Either it's going to be in 3 rounds, but I hope it's in 6 rounds and we see some boxing skills.
Yeah.
That's it.
Go, TKO round 5 or 6. I think he'll stop him. I don't think out cold, but I think he'll stop him mid-round.
Yeah, 100%. All right, like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe.